This 3-minute demo, we will be estimating the risk-reward trade-off associated with different value-based contracts. This is to inform strategic decision makers at a health system as to what level of risk they should retain. It is built off of the Validate actuarial table. The actuarial table was developed specifically with ACO beneficiaries, about 400,000 of them. And the first task in estimating is to adjust the general table to the specific population. For example, for one client, we choose their Medicare fee-for-service population. If we do not have historical claims experience, we can enter in high-level assumptions. One such assumption is the geography of the patients. This helps to explain utilization differences based on physician practice patterns and the socio-demographic factors of the population. The risk score section helps to explain the chronic illness burden of the specific population at hand. You can enter in the average risk score by each population segment. If you do have specific claims experience for the population, then you can choose the claims file, load it, and use that to adjust the general actuarial table. Here's the before and after of the actuarial table. We see that in general, 20% of the population has less than $1,000 per year in claims cost, and then it goes up to a high percentage of the small percentage of the population explaining a lot of the cost. And in red, there's the adjusted table. Our second task is to define a contract, a value-based contract. For example, here is a Medicare ACO. We see the financial parameters such as minimum savings rate is the rate of savings at which it's significant enough to trigger a distribution to the health system. The sharing rate is the percentage that's shared between the insurer and the health system. Here we have the clinical section where we can enter in assumptions for the clinical performance that adjusts the distribution amount of savings. And this is very important. Something that Validate does is to work with a clinical colleague on these assumptions. So finally, we have the simulation. We choose a population and various contract scenarios, and then we can look at the difference in financial performance under the different contracts. So we see that contract 1 is upside only, and that has a low expected savings, but also no chance of loss. And our second contract has a high expected savings, but then a very high variation in the outcome, in the financial outcome, with a high degree of exposure to loss. Then an intermediate situation is when stop loss is performed, and we see that it has a higher expected savings, but lower chance for loss.